Hello everyone, welcome back to our Cypress best practices video. So this is the second video that I'm recording, and this in this video I'm going to talk about how you should use this dynamic weight instead of using this static weight. Okay, so whenever I will say static weight, that means I'm saying cy dot weight. So this cy dot weight uh, I will not recommend to use in your Cypress test automation, because first it is anti-pattern. Anti-pattern means it is a bad practice that you should follow, and it is also mentioned in one of the Cypress official blog, where they have written why you should not use this cy dot weight. But in this video I'm going to talk in from my perspective, like why you should not use this. From my perspective means I'm going to talk about the project experience, why you should not use this cy dot weight. So I will talk with some example, like why how you can use this dynamic weight instead of using the cy dot weight, right? So whenever we use the cy dot weight, basically it tells the Cypress to halt your execution for that particular amount of time before moving to the next execution, right? So, and because of because of this cy dot weight, can it can lead to flaky your test to the some flakiness behavior, or and because of that flakiness behavior your pipeline is not trustworthy, I will say, for the developers, from the developers perspective. Why? So let's take an example to understand why this cy dot weight is not reliable to use in test automation, right? So suppose you have this login scenario where you are trying to log in with some user. Okay, and after logging into the application you are using this cy dot wait, which, let's suppose you are waiting, you are assuming your application will take maximum 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds your execution your login into the application will completed, right? And after that you can perform the action specific to the that user role. Okay, suppose this is the test you have automated in your test suite with the help of this Cypress tool, right? So now I will talk about the 2 point. First is key. First is how this test case will become a flaky. Okay, so I will talk about this flakiness, how this cy dot weight will lead to the flakiness, and second point I will talk about the how it will slow down your execution, overall execution speed. Okay, so I'm going to talk about this these 2 points with this example. So whenever we use this cy dot weight, so basically what we are telling to Cypress, okay, just halt the execution till this particular amount of time before going to the next action. Okay, so now suppose you're logging into application and application is fast, you're trying to log into the application and login is getting successful within the 5 seconds, then your test case will be passed, right? But there will be some scenario when your environment is quite slow, your APIs is taking more time to execute or to get the response from the server. So in that case what will happen when you will try to log in with this user, it will take more than 5 seconds, right? So in that 5 seconds, so because of that what will happen, it will go to it will wait for 5 seconds, and it will not. So this is a very dumb uh, line of code. Basically it doesn't know whether the previous statement is executed successfully or not. It will just wait for 5 seconds, and irrespective of whether the previous statement is completed or not, it will move on to the next step, which will be you perform user specific action. But here the login is not done yet, right? And because of that, here the your test case will get failed for sure, right? So this, because of this behavior, because of this reason, your test case will be a will have this flaky behavior, and it will cause your pipeline unreliable, right? Unreliable means that your pipeline will not be trustworthy for the developers. Because why? Because developers use the pipeline, the test pipeline, for a feedback on their code changes, right? So suppose now if your code developer is pushing that code into the master, and then after that your test cases are running, and he has waited for at least, for let's assume, 10 to 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes he find out uh, the failures are not related to his code, and instead those failures are the flaky one, and that is related to the automation script, right? So it will frustrate the developers. Okay, because of your code, that automation script, they had to wait another 15 minutes to get the actual feedback on their test code, right? So that's why I'm telling your flakiness, your test flakiness will lead to untrustworthy CI/CD pipeline, or you can say making your our pipeline CI/CD pipeline unreliable to the test. Sorry, to the developers. Right. Now coming to the next point, how it will slow down the execution. Okay. So whenever you use 5 seconds, so I talk about what if the login will take more than 5 seconds, right? Now coming to the scenario where login will take hardly 1 or 2 seconds. Okay, so so suppose you are logging with a user, and within a 1 second your login has been completed successfully. But again it will come to this dumb code, the code which doesn't have any intelligence. So what it will do, it will wait for 5 seconds. Whether the previous code is executed successfully or not, it doesn't have that idea, right? So it will wait for 5 seconds, right? So and then it will go to the next step, right? So here it has waited additional 3 to 4 seconds, just because we are using the cy.wait, right? So if we use this cy.wait everywhere in our test automation script, then imagine, so if one step is um, causing the delay of 3 or 4 seconds, so if we use more than 10, then how much time it will take? Means in terms of speed, it will slow down your execution for each test case around 30 to 40 seconds, right? If you are using this 5 seconds on average everywhere in the test automation script, right? And again, the feedback cycle, how quick you are providing the feedback on the developer code changes, that is very important in the test automation script. So that's why you have to be uh, think in that direction, like how you can make your test case a very fast in terms of execution, and at the same time reliable when it comes to running those tests in pipeline, so that developers have that trust. Okay, if that test case is failing, then definitely there is some bug or some issue has been identified by the test. And those kind of trust we have to build with our test automation, right? So if we use this cy.wait, then definitely we are going to face any of these two problems, right? So we don't want developers to wait for the longer time to get the feedback on their code changes, and we don't want to waste their time just because of flakiness of our test case, right? So now the question is like how we can use some dynamic wait. What are the so starting with the interceptor. Okay. Okay. So whenever I say interceptor, basically it's an intercept feature that Cypress provides. So basically it helps you to spy and stop your network requests and responses using this intercept this command. So how you can use it? So let me show you with the example again. So I will use the same example. So here, what I will do, I will say, okay, when I will try to log in, then there will be a API call, a login API call. So I need to wait for that API to be successful before moving to the next step, right? So how I can use it? First, I need to tell my Cypress, okay, I need to intercept the API, the login API. right? And then here I will say wait for login API to be completed successfully before moving to the next statement. Okay. So what will happen? So for initially we will tell, okay, before logging into the application, just intercept this API call. Why? Because as soon as we click on this submit button, there will be a login API call triggered from our browser to the server. So we want to intercept that API call, right? So we need to intercept that, and then we will wait for that API call to be successful. If it is if API is call is getting failed, then we will get the error saying this API got failed because of this reason, so we won't go to the next statement. So this is how this intercept will work. And if it is successful, as soon as this is successful, it will move on to the next statement. Means it will not wait for the longer time like we were doing with the hard coded wait, right? So as soon it will complete it successfully, it will move to the next statement. If it is getting failed due to some reason, then it will throw the exception in the Cypress report itself, so saying this API call got failed, and because of that it did not move to the next statement, right? So, and with this we can solve these two issues, flakiness and this slowdown. Means we don't have to wait for, means we are telling, now we are telling the automation script to wait till this API call is success, right? And then if it is getting successfully uh, executed, then it will move. As soon as it will complete, it will move to the next statement. So it is addressing the both two problems, right? So I will show you with the code. Let me show you the code. Okay, so this is my code where I'm try. So I will visit this website. Okay, and after this I will try to log in with this application. Let me put the complete URL here. One second. Okay, so this is my test case. So what I will do, I will visit to this login, and as soon I will visit this website, so I will get the option to enter the username and password. So let me show you that as well. So if you see, this is what I'm trying to do. So here I will try to log in with this username, and this is the password. Okay, so let me just copy this username cy dot. Okay, let me copy this and let me write it down. The code dot. Okay, I'll type this cy dot get. Okay, now I will type the password. So here is the password. So what I will do, I quickly, just to save some time over here, so I'll get the password. Now what I will do, I will simply say password is this. Okay, now I will log in into this application. So before logging into the application, I will let me show you the network tab here. So as soon I will log in with this user credential, there will be an API call. Okay, so let me log in here and see the network call here. So I just need to put all. Here you will see there will be an API called authenticate. Here we are passing this information, username and the password, and this is basically a post request to authenticate. Okay, so if that is 303, then okay, so okay, what we can do is like we can this is a 303, this is a redirectional URL. So instead I will use this API call to secure to wait. So this is something that is returning this home page. So I will wait till this API is executed successfully, right? So how I can wait for this? I just need to intercept, right? So what I will do, I will use this intercept, cy.intercept. So here what I will do, I will use the cy.intercept. Okay, and here I will give uh, the URL. So URL which I was okay, some you can give something like so I have copied the URL. Okay, so you can also use this in this way. Okay, and I'm telling okay, intercept this URL, and if you want to provide some additional information, that you can also do. So in that case what we have to do is instead of providing this URL, we can pass this object, and here we can pass this URL. I just forgot the syntax. I think this will be a URL colon, then I will provide this here. Okay, and then I need to provide this method type. So let's suppose you have this application URL which has suppose if there are multiple API calls with the same API endpoints, means the API endpoints have the common this means this secure is common, then what you can do is you can provide some additional information like the method type was get for us, and then I will give the some additional informations like status code. If you want to provide the status code, that you can also give. Okay, but for now I think this is sufficient. So I'm what I'm telling the code. Okay, once you log in, okay, let me copy here. So what I'm telling code right now is okay, once you visit this website, just prepare yourself to intercept this API which has this secure, and method type is get. Okay, once, and then I need to provide the alias so that I can capture it, so that I can wait for it after logging into the application, right? So right. So here I think I need to type ads. Okay. Uh, then I need to wait for the this API call, right? After clicking on this cy.get, then I have to button. Okay, after button I want to click on that button. Okay, so now after clicking on this login button, basically I want to wait for this API call to be completed successfully, right? So now what I will do, I will fetch, I will use this cy.wait. Okay, and then I will pass this the alias that I am using here, the login, right? So at the rate login. Now, so please don't confuse this wait with the static wait of which I was saying. So static wait is something like you are providing some hard-coded wait in the test script. But here we are telling wait till this API call is completed successfully. So as soon this API call will be completed, it will move on to the next statement. So suppose if your login API is not completed in that given amount of time, then your next statement obviously will get failed, right? So that's why I'm saying use this dynamic wait, and there is a difference between using this wait and the hard coded wait that I have showed you, like cy.wait, and where there I was providing the hard coded amount of time, right? So now if I'll show you, let me. Okay, so as you can see, this is once it clicked on this login button, it has captured this authenticate URL. Okay, so this authenticate URL, and then it has waited for that URL to be completed successfully. So if I want to see the information, so this is the response we have got, uh, and this is the okay, you can see here. uh, so this API we have intercepted, and this is the response we have got from the server. So this is how you can use this intercept, and you can use this dynamic wait to wait for some particular condition to be true, right? Yeah, so I was talking about this Cypress until plugin. So this is something that is really uh, comes handy when you want to write some explicit wait for some certain condition to be true. So you can use this Cypress until wait until plugin, and this is an npm package that you can install, and this is completely open source. So you can use this command npm. One second, I will pause. So you can use this command npm I hyphen d cypress wait until. So what it provides, so basically if you go to this GitHub repository link, uh, they have listed the ample amounts of examples like how you can use this the Cypress until plugin. So I will copy one of the example from there. So like you can use this so this is the function where you have to provide in arrow function, you have to provide the conditions, like what condition basically you want to wait for. And you also you can provide the timeout explicitly in the wait.until, otherwise it will use the default one which you have configured for the Cypress. Okay, so basically here what I'm trying to say here is in this arrow function where I have given this condition, get the cookie and then validate, wait till this cookie value is this expected value. Okay, once this condition is true, then come out from this statement and go to the next statement. So this is very helpful when you're using this when you want to use this explicit wait to wait for some condition to be true, right? And the same way we have this explicit wait, or you can say the fluent wait, we have this should. Okay, so suppose if I want to if I'm clicking on some element, and after that this element, some of the elements are getting disappeared, okay, or getting visible after clicking on some button. Okay, so in that case, what you can use if you don't want to use this cy.wait until plugin, so what I can recommend is you can use this command should command, and here you can give the condition. If you want this element locator to be visible or to be disappears or whatever, and then you can provide also the timeout here. You can also means you can mention explicitly if you want to wait for some if you want to wait for some additional time, or if you want to use the default the global wait time timeout, you can use, means by default it will use, but you can provide this condition here. So what it will do, for that particular amount of time it will keep on polling whether this condition is true or not for this particular element, right? So this way, and this is also going to help you to wait for some certain condition to be true. And so that's why I'm recommending to use these two approach. If you want to write, if you want to wait for some certain condition, explicit condition to be true, right, instead of using the cy.wait, right? So in if you use a cy.wait, okay, after 5 seconds my element will be visible. So now think which one is more reliable here. This one will keep on polling, as soon this condition is met it will move to the next statement, and this condition will wait till 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds it will move to the next statement. Whether the condition previous statement is executed as success or not, it does not matter to this cy.wait, because this is the dump statement that write in test automation script with the Cypress tool. So that's why we should not use this CY.wait when it comes to test automation script. So my recommendation is use as much as this intercept feature which Cypress provides, and if possible, then use this approach CY.get. And if you want some additional condition to check for some additional condition to be true, then you can use this CY.get. Okay, so I can recommend, so that's why I'm recommending not to use this one and use these two if you want to write some explicit code, and try to use wherever is possible. If there is API call, then use this intercept feature. Now, this intercept feature is so popular and so reliable that now this intercept feature is now available in the Selenium also, and the other popular tool like Playwright and other I just forgot the name, but other tools are also providing the same feature. This is very uh, powerful, I will say, the dynamic weight that Cypress has created. It's really really very good, and it will make sure that your test case is reliable uh, and stable in the test pipeline. Yeah. So that's it for this video. So in next video, I'm going to talk about more of test automation best practices with the Cypress tool, like how you can write neat and clean code with this with some certain practices, and how you can make sure that there is no vulnerabilities, security vulnerabilities in Cypress uh, because of our complicated code or the plugins we keep on adding randomly. So I will talk about that also in the upcoming videos. Thank you.